What's up, beautiful people? Coming to you early this morning. Well, ain't too early, it's about 9 something. Gotta go run a few errands, so I said, let me hop on a little bit. So y'all gonna be with me while I do my makeup. And I'm not doing anything too spectacular. I'm just doing enough so that when I walk out the house, I don't scare nobody. But as you can see, my message is, you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Sometimes I get really, really sad when I deal with young ladies or even young men who feel very insecure about who they are, about the color of their skin, about where they grew up, about what they know, what they don't know. And it really breaks my heart, because at one point in time I really used to, like a long time ago, I struggled with insecurity, and I know everybody struggles with some level of insecurity. Even the most beautiful, the most beautiful person struggles with insecurity, right? Whether it be the size of their nose, whether it be, their lips, whether it be their weight, whatever it may be, we all struggle with some level of insecurity. But I just really wanted to share with people today, you are enough. We have social media, we have the television, we have everything telling us that we've got to be better. We've got to be better. You've got to do this. Especially in our age today, where we see like pretty much everybody can show what they're doing, right? They can show, the new car, the new house, the new boo, the new baby, the new shoes, the new clothes, the new whatever. I'm going to tie my hair back real quick because it just keeps getting in the way. But, everyone is showing the new this, the new that. And sometimes you can get caught up in thinking, you know what am I doing or what am I not doing? And I just want to share with you this. Listen, y'all. On social media, on the internet, and everywhere else, people only share a portion of the story. Do you understand what I'm saying? People only share a portion of the story. They never share the whole story. So don't get caught up in feeling like, oh, they got a new car, they got a new house, oh, they got a new this, what's wrong with me? Don't fall into that mentality, because that mentality is a trick. That mentality right there will end you up depressed. It will end you up competing with people who don't even know you out here competing with them. You know what I mean? It'll end you up sad, because you'll be consistently comparing yourself with people who, and I don't know everybody's lifestyle, and I don't know everybody's story, and I'm not trying to learn everybody's story. But what I do know is that as a makeup artist, me being that intimate with people, women especially, but even some men, because I did do male grooming, I find out that a lot of times, sometimes we only share a portion of the story. So when you out here thinking that you're not enough, and you out here thinking, oh, that person got it going on, that person this, that person that, all the while, you're competing with a mirage. You're competing with a fallacy. You're competing with something that's not even true. And so then you find yourself, well, what can I do next? What can I do next? How can I be da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? When all along, all you really got to do is just be yourself. Like the Bible really talks about how your gift will make room for you. And so a lot of times people out here trying to compete with the gift that's not even what your gift is supposed to be. Your gift, say for instance, my gift is speaking, right? I can put words together. I can speak with intentionality, with purpose. I can shift the trajectory of a person's life simply by speaking to them and speaking to the very essence of who they are. Like, cut past the superficial. What is it that we're doing here, right? So I have that ability. So another individual who may not have that ability, but because it looks good or because it sounds good, they may try it out. And I'm all for trying things that you don't necessarily know what they are about, just trying new things. But find out what you're good at. Really find. The more and more I meet people who are 60, 70, put a little bit more over here, 80 years old, and they never took the time out to find out who they were. I vowed to myself, I do not want to get older and not know who Tynisha was. Like, what purpose was she to serve? I'm working out. What purpose was she to serve while she was here on this earth? Like, what was I supposed to be doing? What was I supposed to know about myself? And so sometimes we ask for or seek for the definition of ourself by way of what we see other people doing. That's not how it's supposed to work. I'm not supposed to look at you and say, oh yeah, that's what I should be doing. Oh yeah, that's not what I should be doing. I'm supposed to look at myself. And I think this is why it's so important to have a higher power. Because if you're looking horizontally at what should be going on, let's just be clear. All of us, none of us have really made it. Because the richest of richest people, sometimes in their mind, they're messed up. So if you consider money to be a level of success, well, a lot of times people who have money don't really have the mental or emotional IQ to live a happy life. But then you don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum and somebody who doesn't have anything, but they have all the wisdom in the world. You want to be, whoever you're following, whoever you're listening to, you want it to be a balanced individual. Right? You don't want them to be, oh, it's all about money, 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 money. It's all about getting a man, getting a man, getting a man, getting a man. Well, yeah, relationships are good. But at the end of the day, if you can't relate to yourself, having a man next to you won't mean much. Come on, church. If you don't know why you act the way you act, if you don't know what makes you happy, if you don't know what makes you tick, if you don't know what gives you the drive to get up every day and go out here and try and make it happen, it won't matter who's sitting next to you. Because you'll have the finest, richest, wealthiest, hottest, most buff, most protective, most nurturing, most covering man next to you. But if you don't know who you are, y'all better clap your hands up in this Presbyterian church. If you don't know who you are, then you'll just be there. You'll just be there. You'll be in the situation, but you'll just be there. Because you never took the time to find out who you are. Right? At the end of the day, you got to know who you are. And a lot of times, especially us ladies, but even men, I'm not even going to just keep saying this to ladies. It's men too. We don't take the time out to find out who we are, so we let the world define us. We let the last boyfriend define us. We let the parent define us. We let everything around us externally define us. And so when their definition of us changes, then the opinion of ourselves changes. That's not how it's supposed to be. I know that's not how it is for me. I keep a stable opinion of who I am and what I am. Have I always been there? No. There was a point in time in which I allowed people around me or things around me to define who I am or what I should be doing or, you know, which career I should take. I didn't even want to be a lawyer when I was a kid. But my mom said I should be a lawyer at 5, and so I became one. But then I got into it, and after so much hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, I'm not going to say that I don't enjoy what I know. But that wasn't probably the best career for me as far as my total life fulfillment. Would I have gotten paid? Yeah, no doubt. No cap. Lawyers get paid. But would I be happy? Would I be totally fulfilled? I don't know, not so much. So I allowed somebody else to define my pathway. A lot of things in life we've allowed other people to define us. And we have to get to the point to where we are mentally strong enough to not let anyone define us. I could let someone define me as a woman, define me as an African American, define me as a lighter skinned female, define me as a a woman with extra weight on her, define me as a woman who wears long nails, define me as a woman who lives where I live or does what I do as far as a career. I could let other people define me, but see, it's a power, P-O-W-E-R, a power in defining who you are. Then everybody else got to get in line. Do you understand what I'm saying? So as opposed to just letting everybody else tell you, oh no, you're supposed to be this. You a black female, so you're not supposed to make more than this much amount of money. You're not supposed to do this. You ain't supposed to get married. You ain't supposed to have kids inside of marriage. All your kids supposed to be like, all the different things and labels that people try to put on you. At one point in time in your life, you got to just stand up and be like, sorry, I don't accept that. Return to sender. Do you understand what I'm saying to you today? At some point in time in your life, you have to say, I do not accept all the labels that you're trying to put on me. Because if you go through life, people will try to stamp, boom, she this, boom, she that, boom, he this, boom, he's that, boom, she's this, boom, she's that. They will try to label you, especially if they can't figure you out. Especially if you're the kind of person. That's why people are always talking around like Beyonce in the Illuminati. It's because she keeps her life private and she doesn't let you into her life. So they got to find a stamp to try to put on you. You understand what I'm saying? That's what people do. When they can't figure you out, they try to put a stamp on you. Caucasians did it to black people. They couldn't figure us out. So they, oh, we're aggressive. Oh, we're animals. Oh, we're savages. Oh, we're this. Oh, we're that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happens when you don't take the time out to find out, one, what you are about, and two, what other people are about. But despite all of that, just know this. Tynisha woke up to tell you that you are enough. And actually, you're more than enough. But know this. People will come and try to tell you, you're not enough. You're not this. You're not great. You're not wonderfully and fearfully made. You're not intelligent. You're not supposed to make $1 million. You're not supposed to have a good life. You're not supposed to have a good family life. You're not supposed to have good relationships. These are all the labels and the things that people will come into your life and try to tell you. And it may not be just friends or family. This could be some stuff that you see on the TV, stuff you see on social media, things you hear on the radio, things you see on billboards passing by on the highway. People and things and places trying to tell you you're not enough. But you are enough. And when you get that in your mind that you are enough and you come to that total and full understanding that I am enough. I am enough. Not in a conceited manner, not in a prideful manner, not in a haughty manner, not in a manner that you're better than anybody else. I didn't say any of those things. So if that's what you came to the conclusion of, then you might want to reevaluate your thinking ability, because I've said none of those things. But what I did say is that I personally, and I encourage you not to allow anyone to come into your atmosphere and change your thoughts about yourself into a negative manner. If you woke up this morning feeling good, if you woke up this morning feeling peaceful, if you woke up this morning feeling like, you know what, I'm going to go out and conquer the world, even if you don't do nothing but go pay a few bills, or you don't go to the mailbox, or whatever it is you got on your agenda today, don't let anybody change your attitude about yourself. If there's some things that you want to get better or make better or become better, identify those things and do it. And don't do it for anybody else. Do it for you. Do it because you want to be happy. Do it because it makes you feel good about you. Do it because it makes you feel healthier or whatever the situation may be. I told y'all already, like my weight loss journey, like I put on this dress, and I've had this dress on many times before, and I did not feel like I felt today. I don't know if it's because I've lost weight in my stomach area, which is the area that I was really wanting to lose the most weight in. But don't let nobody tell you that you're not enough, that you're insignificant, that you're unimportant because of whatever their thoughts are going on them. And I come to realize a lot of people who want to spew that kind of thing, they suffer with self-esteem issues. So it's like they kind of want to infect other people with self-esteem issues. But you can't infect me because I'm immune. When I've taken my vaccination is God, because I done heard what he just said about me, and God liked me. According to his word, God likes me. So if I've come to the conclusion that the creator of the universe likes me, why would I be concerned? Do y'all hear what I'm saying to y'all? I'm not concerned about this, that, and another, and this, that, and another, what another person got to say. Oh, you using your words? We all got words. I just choose to use mine now a little bit more wiser, because, you know, back in the day, I could cut. I'm talking about cut, and cut for real. But, you know, what benefit is that going to make of me for me to just go ahead and start cutting you up with my words? My flesh going to feel good. I don't feel bad later. Now I'm going, God, I repent for talking about that person or telling that person how I really feel and all this other good stuff. So, you know, I just kind of be like, oh, really? That's how you feel? Like I said, a lot of times people suffer from self-esteem issues, and they want to go out and spew that on the rest of the world. But you have to come to the conclusion that you're not going to allow people to spew. And I say spew because it's like a poison. You got to come to the conclusion that you're not going to allow people to spew their poison onto you. Right? Because think about it. If I come up to you and I walk up to you with a glass of cyanide, and I tell you this is cyanide. Cyanide is a poison. It looks like water. It looks nice. It looks friendly. But it's cyanide, and it gives off a certain smell. Certain people who really don't like you or don't really wish the best for you, they give off a certain smell. They actually have a certain kind of look. And that's why I continuously ask God. I say, God, give me discernment to know who's around me and what's of you, God, and what's not of you. Because truth be told, a lot of people can laugh with you, talk with you, tell you how wonderful you are. But see, one thing about the heart is deceptive and wicked above all things. So the heart has people out here saying wonderful things about you in your face. Oh, you this, you that, girl. You go get them, girl. You did it. But in that quiet time, it's a different kind of story. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. We can like who we want to like. We can dislike who we want to dislike. All we have to do is love our neighbors as we love ourselves. That's it, right? But me loving you don't necessarily mean I got to like you. I may not like your personality. I may not like the way you treat people. I may not like the way you handle people, or whatever the situation may be. I may not, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Tell me where in the Bible tell me I gotta like everybody. All I gotta do is just be peaceful with you. I may not like you. You may not like me, and that's perfectly fine. That's the thing. People have to realize, I think in this world of subscribers and friends and, you know, add me and I'll add you, that we feel like we got to like everybody. You don't. Let me free you up. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to like everybody. You can be peaceful. You can be cordial. You can say hello and goodbye. But you don't have to like everybody. I don't like everybody. And I'm sure everybody doesn't like me. And that's okay. And people have to realize that's okay. And not get too caught up in, oh, they don't like me. They don't like me. Are you still living? Are you still living? At the end of the day that they don't like you, you still living? Okay. Are they still living even though you don't like them? Oh, okay. Cool. So everybody's still living. Everybody's still alive. Everybody's still healthy, right? Despite who likes who and despite who doesn't like who. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to be friends with everybody on social media. If somebody's vexing your spirit, you can delete them, mute them. You don't have to keep people around just because you know them in person. Do you know how many people who I don't want on my social media timeline, but I know them in person? Know them and know them well, but I don't want you on my timeline because you're talking about nothing positive. You're talking about nothing good. You complain about life. You complain about everything. I personally don't want to hear you. I don't want you to spew what you got going on me. When I look at my timeline, I want to see people doing well. I want to see people living good. I want to see people being happy. If you ain't got nothing positive to, I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about like this the first time. I'm talking about, I've been friends with you on social media for some years. And I can count on one finger how many times you said something positive. Then, yeah, it's time for you to just be somebody else's friend except mine on social media. But I digress. You're enough. You're enough. And stop letting people make you feel like you're not enough. Whatever it is that you have going, you're enough. You're enough. You are enough. You're not insignificant. You're not unimportant. You're enough. And then on top of that, if you just really want some more people to come around you, start seeking out people who have like minds. Start seeking out people who, are on the same wavelength as you are. They're talking about building. They're talking about good stuff. They're not talking about all the negative stuff and why people do that and why people do that. I cannot. I cannot. If you're one of those kind of people who get up every day and you just sour about everything in life, especially those things, you can't even just be happy that you got up. You can't be happy that you just got up. The fact that God allowed you to borrow breath again today, whereas overnight so many people weren't able to borrow breath for today. Really? Come on now. Gotta do better. Gotta do better. It's all about perspective. If your perspective is thwarted, then your life will probably be thwarted. People who don't have a good perspective on life typically don't have a good life. So it's about perspective. It's about perspective. I'm not saying go out here and be conceited. I'm not saying go out here and just tell the world to kiss your behind. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is you are enough. And don't let anybody or anything make you feel like you are not enough. The people who appreciate you, appreciate them. If you want new friends, better friends, then you have to first make yourself friendly. Go to places where new friends that you'd like actually hang out. Go to some of those places, right? If you like the movies, the movies are back open, y'all. Oh, Father. Go join Meetup. Meet some new people who are movie buffs. If you enjoy reading the Bible or studying the Bible, meet some people who enjoy reading the Bible. You can meet people all day long, right? I know we're in the midst of COVID and everybody's taking their precautions. Continue to do so. But you can meet people, whether it be virtually for now, and then when we are able to come back and reconvene, then meeting people in person who share your interests. If nobody in your circle shares your interests, then find some people who do. Like, most of the people in my circle aren't talking about stocks and bonds and ETFs and indexes and, LLCs and S Corps and C Corps and, SEPs and IRAs. Most of the people in my circle don't talk about those things. They don't even know what those things are. So I have to go outside of my circle and find people who can appreciate me and my whatever that I bring to the table. Do you understand? So it's sometimes your obligation to step out and go find people who appreciate you. If the people around you don't appreciate you and they don't like what you want, and you like anime and they don't like anime, you like what? You like traveling, they don't like traveling. You like talking about building businesses, they don't like talking about building businesses. Let's find some people who do. And it's not difficult, especially especially now with the internet, it's not difficult to find people who like what you like, who can celebrate you, who can be on the same wavelength as you, who can be on the same frequency as you. It's not hard. It's not hard, right? And you just gonna have to get over if you feel like you're gonna be rejected. What if they don't want to be my friend? Okay, it's 8 billion people in the world. Try another person. Do you understand? Try somebody else. Try other people who might be interested in doing what you like to do. And so that's your goal. Surround yourself with people who do appreciate you. Surround yourself with people who have a good opinion of you. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you as an individual. Stop hanging around people who don't appreciate you. Stop hanging around people who don't like you. Stop hanging around people who don't really want to see you thrive. Don't really want to see you have good stuff. Don't really want to see you succeed. Don't really want to see you come up. Don't want to see you level up. They want you to stay where you are so you don't pose a threat to them. But see, the point of the matter in life is that I need to grow. Anything that's not growing is dying. And yes, we all are dying to some extent, but my dreams don't have to die with me in the grave. My goals don't have to die with me. My aspirations don't have to die with me. My likes and dislikes don't have to die with me. I can do something while I'm here to further my growth. You know, and I have to get past that point where I just was like, oh, well, this is just it. I've done everything that I feel like I can do in life. There's nothing else for me to do. That's a lie. There's more for you to do. What is it that you want, though? I see a lot of times, and this is my thing with people. We want things, and we don't voice those things. We don't make it clear to ourselves what we want, and we don't make it clear to other people what we want. You know, case in point, I see so many women talking about I want a relationship. I want a good relationship. Well, what kind of man do you want a relationship with? And are you specific in the type of man that you want a relationship with? Well, I just want him to be honest. Okay. Got that part. What else? You want him to be loyal? What do you want him to look like? You want him to be 6 feet? You want him to be, and this is just a blueprint. This doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, he must be these things. But at least you've begun to do the work, the due diligence on what I need to know when I'm looking for what I'm looking for. So a lot of times women are like, oh yeah, I'm looking for me a husband. Well, what kind of husband are you looking for? Are you looking for a husband who's only earning $40,000 a year, or do you want a husband that's earning $4,000 a year? What kind of husband do you want? Right? Do you want a husband who can put you in an apartment, or do you want a husband who can put you in a 5-bedroom, 7-bedroom house? Right? Do you want a husband who likes to travel also? Do you want one who's active? Do you want one who's, not on a whole bunch of medication? Do you want one who, what kind of husband do you want? How many kids does he want? Is that comparable to the amount of kids that you want? Have you really sat down and thought about these things? Right? So while I'm telling you that you are enough, I'm also saying, hey, let's do the work. Let's do the work. So the work is finding out what it is that I want. Who am I? Right? A lot of times people go through life not knowing who they are. Who is Tynisha? I had to look in the mirror one day, and the mirror's in front of me. Who is Tynisha? What is Tynisha about? What does Tynisha want out of life? What does she want? And I had to have this conversation with myself. I got a piece of paper and I started writing things down, right? The Bible talks about write the vision, make it plain, so they that see it can run with it. So you seeing your vision in front of you every day, let me make my part a little bit straighter. You seeing your vision in front of you every day, or at least every other day, and you opening it up so you can see, well, what is my vision? What is it that I want out of life? How can I become what it is that I'm thinking I want to become. Because a lot of times we always talk about what we want to become, but do we ever sit down and figure out how we gonna get there? I'm in a leadership class, right? And in the leadership class, the first thing they had us do was do what's called a leader script. So in this leader script, we talk about who we are as a leader. But now the second part of it is a leadership track, where now we determine how do we get to be those things we talked about in the leadership track and leadership script. This has been the best self-evaluation exercise I've ever had in my life. Like, I've become so self-aware of who am I, what gifts do I possess, how can I grow, how can I cultivate those gifts to become this highest and best version of myself. Now, I get it. Everybody's not out here trying to become the highest and best version of themselves. Some people are okay with where they are, and I get that. But I'm not necessarily talking to you. I'm talking to people who look around, who look at themselves and say there has to be more. There has to be better. There has to be higher. There has to be more, right? And you want to experience that more. Like, I want to be on yachts in Greece. I want to be, travel to different countries. I want to be, like my pastor said one time, my apostle, he said, I want to be one of those people who in life, I wake up when I want to wake up. Not when an alarm clock tells me, not when my job tells me, but I wake up when I want to wake up. Like, I want that kind of freedom, right? I'm almost there, but I'm not 100% there yet. But I'm on my way. I trust and believe. I'm on the plane. I'm on the jet in that direction. But find out who you are, right? Like, seriously. Like, what do I like? What do I not like? A lot of times, again, we just let people come into our lives and define us for us. And that's a dangerous place to be. Dangerous place to be, to let everybody else define you for you, right? So you're enough. You are enough. Even in your current state, even as messed up as you feel like you are, even as not close to what you want to be as you are, you're still enough even in this moment. You are enough to the point to where you can say to yourself, hey, I want to do something different. I want to do something better. I want to do the work to find out what's going on with me, right? I'm just saying, you have to do the work. And it is work. It is work finding out why you are how you are. What happened to you? Who said what? What did what? I had to dig back in my past and find out, well, why did I feel rejection at one point in time? You know, and it was because when I was younger, I wore glasses. You know, I had a jerry curl, and I didn't get picked on at all. But I don't know, maybe it was just something in me. I just felt like I didn't want to wear just little things like that. And that affects us as we get older, and we don't even know it because we didn't take time to figure it out. There was one guy who I think I was kicking it with at one point in time, and I was in the back seat of the car, and he pulled up on his friends, and his friends was like, well, what are you getting ready to get into? And he was like, well, I'm just getting ready to go kick it with, and it's a black dude, so it wasn't racist stuff, but he was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go kick it with one of these monkeys. And he pointed to me in the back. So I'm not your girl, I'm not your whatever, I'm a monkey? And I think that in that moment, that made me feel some kind of way, like I'm just a monkey, I'm just somebody who you just about to just do whatever with, and then that's it. So even little episodes like that you think don't impact you or don't affect you, they really do. They really do. And so sometimes you have to go back and revisit, what were those things? When my parent or parents called me out of my name, or, you know, when me and my siblings got into a fight and the sibling called me out of my name. See, things like that you have to go back and revisit and identify that that is where certain hurts